I think you guys know what we're talking about when he just decided to go for home when the third base coach was telling him to stop. That was kind of symbolic of the entire Mets season.
ニューヨークメッツが再び泥沼にはまりかけている。日本時間5月11日のダイヤモンドバックス戦に敗れ、またしても MLB 全体で単独最下位に沈んでしまったメッツ。この結果、2026年シーズンで100敗を超えるペースで負け続けている唯一のチームとなってしまい、熱狂的ファンは溢れる感情を抑えきれずにいる。
How is this team so fucking heartless? Every game. Yeah, the Mets have last 9 Mets in a row have been shut down. The last 9 Mets, every game it's the same. I mean, this guy, Troy Snitker, is the worst fucking hitting coach in the history of fucking baseball. He is a goddamn motherfucking brave spy. You can't convince me anything else. There's like no energy, no heart, nothing. 2-1 again. I mean, nothing. 2 runs, it's a mountain. Yes, they were lucky with that game or extra innings. And every game, it's the same, and nothing changes. Can we bring up somebody? Bulbous shit. I want him gone ASAP. Fuck him. He's the biggest waste of money ever. He makes Jason Bay look like a fucking Hall of Famer.
チームが泥沼を抜け出せない原因としては、直近ではソト選手の不振が挙げられるだろう。もちろん一人がチーム敗戦の責任を全て負うわけではないのだが、故障者リストから復帰後は17試合で打率2割1分7厘。特に直近7試合では5試合が無安打で、打率は1割を切るところまで落ち込んでしまっている。この打撃不振について、ソト選手は次のように語っている。
You know, it's tough. I've just been missing a lot of balls. They've been throwing me pitches right there, and I've just been a little under. Definitely, I've been working with my hitting coaches, swinging the bat, like doing my routines, working on mechanics. We're at the point where you just gotta stop missing it.
4月の大型連敗を脱した後も救世主が現れず調子が上がらないメッツはワイルドカード争いでも8ゲーム差をつけられており、すでにトレードデッドラインでは昨年獲得したばかりのペラルタ投手が放出筆頭候補になるとの議論も始まっている。そんなメッツについて識者が分析するソト選手の不振理由やメッツ美女たちが語るチーム状況への不満などをここから紹介していく。
Let's start with the Mets and Soto. He will start hitting eventually, we know that. But JJ, how do you explain how badly he has struggled since returning from the IL?
So to me, this boils down to a simple fact. If you're going to compete against the New York Mets at this particular point in time, why would you let Juan Soto beat you? And I know you could say, hey, Juan Soto's going to go and take his walks. He's getting paid a ton of money. He's got to go and be a professional. You're telling me the quality of pitches Juan Soto is getting is the same as it was a year ago when you had Pete Alonso hitting a boatload of home runs behind him, or 2 years ago where you had Aaron Judge having an MVP record-setting type of season. Juan Soto got off to a hot start, then has the injury, comes back and is swinging the bat well, but nobody else in this lineup, CeeLo, is getting going. That's no excuse for Soto, but you're asking me to pinpoint a reason for why you've seen these struggles? I don't think he's getting the same quality of pitches that he's gotten in years past, and that is a major problem, and it speaks to the fact, CeeLo, that up and down this lineup, nobody's hitting, including the guy you're paying a buttload of money to.
I'm with you on all that, and I don't want to go just based on the videos we saw, but there are some hittable pitches in there, and unusual for him being such a good hitter that he is, getting under balls late, pop-ups in big spots. So I wonder if maybe he's putting a little bit of extra pressure on himself because of the reason JJ just mentioned, other guys not hitting, and his return essentially coinciding with the loss of Lindor. So it's not necessarily an apples-to-apples situation or directly related, but I do think that there can be a trickle-down effect there. And while you're waiting for other guys to get consistently hot, we've seen it in bits and pieces. Benj has shown some signs. Vientos has had some moments. But up and down the lineup, I think Soto, since he's returned with Lindor down, feels like, you know what, I get paid the big bucks. I got to be the guy. I just wonder if he's trying to do a little bit too much, more than he normally does, squeezing the bat a little tighter, especially in those spots with runners in scoring position where he's normally so good, has not been so far this year. I think just a little bit too much pressure.
On May the 11th, and people are like, oh my God, Freddie Peralta is going to be one of the biggest gets at the trade deadline. Like, the Mets just signed Freddie Peralta. He's been on the team for a month. If that's where you are on May 11th and you're 10 games under 500 and you still have the worst record in baseball, something went awry for you here. Like, we can be honest about that. The Mets are in sole possession right now of the worst record in Major League Baseball. They're 15-25.
That is so pathetic.
Only
that is
one
so
team
horrible.
is on pace, as you said before, to lose 100 games this year. It's the Mets.
It's the New York Mets.
Why am I a Mets fan?
100 games. I'm not saying that you needed to hold on to every single fan favorite. I'm saying that if you were going to take a risk, blow up the entire core, and bring in all new guys that people didn't have a connection to, you really would have wanted that to work. Because now we don't have any
what
of
you
those
would've
guys. And they're on pace to lose 100 games. That's the problem. It's that this experiment was failed. They decided to stick with Mendoza. For the record, it's not that I necessarily mind that. I'm not sure that there's going to be a manager who's going to be able to come in and immediately fix the situation that we have right now, because it clearly is a lot more complicated than just a couple of in-game adjustments that Mendoza is able to make. But what are you going to do? Because again, it's early May. A lot of baseball left.
Yeah.
Fans don't feel like sitting through this. It's been a little better, which is funny because they still have the worst record in baseball. There have been some games that you felt like they were putting a few things together. Like I can comfortably sit at this table and tell you that I think that, Carson Bench is doing a decent job and that you're starting to see flashes as far as Bo Bichette. And I do think that Juan Soto is going to heat up. And I like Terrence as a player and a person, and I think he has a lot to offer. But end of the day, it's baseball and you need to win games here. It's a professional organization, it's a professional club. There's a lot of money on the line, and you're the worst team in baseball. It doesn't get much worse than the situation that we're in right now, and the problems are very deep-rooted. We're not necessarily close to the trade deadline. You're just signing up for a month here. I don't know, just try harder. What other advice is there?
Everybody's hurt. Mauricio's hurt now. I mean, name the player who's not hurt. Polanco's hurt. Robert Jr.'s hurt. First of all, why did we bring in? It's funny, right? Because hindsight's of course 2020. But like, why did we bring in all these injury-prone players for two guys who have been on the field all the time, and Nimmo and Alonso, right? You got rid of guys that were stable, not injury-prone. You bring in injury-prone players in Robert Jr., Polanco. They're already on the IL.
That actually pisses me off.
I know.
Pete Alonso played like every single day. That's annoying. Come on.
I know. But I think with the Mets, I think the bigger picture right now and what the Mets have to wrap their heads around is we are 25% of the way through the season. It's no longer, it's April. It's May 11th, but a quarter of the season is gone and they are the worst team in baseball. And I think if you're someone who works in the Mets organization, if you are David Stearns, now you sit back and it's like, well, what can we do until the trade deadline? How are we going to shake things up here? Because right now there are a lot of at-bats, a lot of innings on the mound going to guys that are not productive, that are not giving you much. I mean, you can't really call the season in May and just call up all the kids that are here in Syracuse. I mean, they do have a lot. People talk about Mendoza. I don't know what the point is for Mendoza. Obviously, Stearns said he was safe a few weeks ago. But then you look at the Phillies, they're 10-3 since they fired Rob Thompson.
I know.
I'm not saying that has anything to do with Rob Thompson, but maybe it just has to do with doing something, right? Like shaking something up energy-wise, sending a message, whatever you want. I don't even know if I'm in the camp of fire Mendoza anymore because I don't think it's Mendoza's fault, and we've said that. It's a roster construction. Carlos Mendoza can only deal with the cards he was dealt every single day, which we are coming to find out in May were not very good cards. But that's where you just look at everything top to bottom decision making. I mean, now you're seeing people on social media catch on and say like, what I was saying before, like, how did we acquire all these injury-prone players and think this was okay? How are we playing everybody out of position and we thought this was okay? Mark Vientos gives up a run like every other day at first base, and we just trot him out there every single day. Go get a Mark. Like, it's not going to change.
All I can think about is him blowing by third base.
Nope.
You know what?
I think you guys know what we're talking about when he just decided to go for home when the third base coach was telling him to stop. That was kind of symbolic of the entire Mets season.
今回の動画はいかがだったでしょうか。ぜひコメント欄に今シーズンのメッツに対する印象や今後の動きに関する予想などを書き込んでみてください。